Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have the Hierophant. I think you're somebody that gives good advice, right? I feel like you're somebody that that people come to for guidance. Yeah, you kind of maybe have become like an unintended mentor to people. You know, I feel like people value your insight into things. People see you as someone with a lot of wisdom to offer. Yeah. This is the card of kind of like expertise, right? And I wonder if maybe sometimes you don't always believe in yourself that way. You know, there's a humbleness or a humility in you, yeah, that I think makes you a wonderful teacher, you know, because I feel like you're always trying to learn, yeah, and that may be the best way to learn, right? Is by sharing what you know with others and trying to teach others, you know. I've heard that if you truly understand something, try explaining it to a 5-year-old, because that'll show how well you actually understand it, you know. But I feel that's what's going on here. Maybe you feel like maybe this is at work, maybe it's at home, maybe it's at school. But I think that you do have a lot to offer the world, yeah. I think that you have a lot more wisdom than you give yourself credit for. Now let's put this into some context. Where is this wisdom being applied? Where does this teaching, learning energy really need to come alive for you? Wheel of Fortune, look at that. Interesting, okay. 10 of Pentacles, that's very, very good. 9 of Pentacles, okay. And the Empress. Okay, you need to claim this reading right now. We're getting all the good cards. There will be some challenges, okay? Oh, and we've got the Adjustment card. I feel like there is a rare set of circumstances happening in your life right now that's kind of aligning you to move closer to your dream life. I think that there are subtle shifts that are being made, okay? These small adjustments that you're noticing, and I think it's really like a lot of synchronicity that are just kind of not like these big, huge neon signs, but like little things that keep popping up everywhere for you, letting you know like that you're kind of on the right track in the decisions that you're making and how you are aligning with that kind of perfect life of yours, your dream life, your best life, your Empress life. We got the good stuff here. Path of the Serpent, you have the Lust card, the Sun card, the Chariot card. Oh my God, this is a lot of major arcana energies. And of course, we have the 4 of Pentacles. At the end, you've got stability. This isn't just a pipe dream. This isn't just some kind of fantasy. This is something that's going to crystallize and solidify for you. Okay? Big changes are coming in small ways. You know, like with small signs, small symbols. Yeah, you've got to follow the signs, because they are leading you to, I think, a huge shift in your life, aligning you with your destiny. I feel like your relationships are shifting. I feel like your career direction might be shifting. And just your daily sort of way of life is changing, okay? I want you to accept these divine gifts. Give me a yes in the comments. Tell me that you are ready. Let's select the mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with big red ant right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, boy, we see a lot of majors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcana energies. And what else do we got? Earth, earth, earth. Spirit is having a major influence in your physical earthly life right now, okay? I think circumstances are changing. There is a great shift happening with this Wheel of Fortune. Maybe lately you've felt like you've kind of been at the bottom of the wheel, you know, between the rubber and the road. All that is changing. Your luck is about to shift. Look for the signs. Follow them. Spirit is everywhere right now talking to you and letting you know what things you need to adjust and shift, what little micro adjustments, little course corrections you need to make in order to continue expanding your life and to get yourself to the top of this Wheel of Fortune. This is a doorway. Spirit is going to put doorways, open doorways on your path where there were never doors before. You're getting a lot of green lights. You've got to follow the green lights. Spirit's going to be putting the right people, places, and things on your path when and where you need them. It is up to you to receive that, to engage with those resources, those people, places, things. Okay? It's up to you. You need to be in the right place at the right time. Spirit's going to put you there. Then you have to act. Okay? This is a card of expansion and growth and profit. Okay? Following the signs in your life, following your wisdom and discernment, believing in yourself, believing that you deserve this and you've earned it and you've got what it takes, you know, believing in yourself, is going to accelerate your journey upward here to the Empress life. This is at the top of the Wheel of Fortune, the Empress life. Accelerating your journey toward joy and abundance. Okay? I think a big shift in your career, a big shift in your relationships. Okay? And look for those small signs. The Wheel of Fortune is literally the card of divine timing. Okay? Literally the card of divine timing. It's the divine timing for you to use all of your wisdom and experience, all of your vast knowledge to go after your best life. Yeah. To follow your heart, follow the signs, follow your spirit, and move upward toward that Empress life. The Empress is your best life. This is the Big Rock Candy Mountain. This is the Emerald City. This is paradise, the Garden of Eden. Okay? This is the good life for you. And it's your dream life. Okay? It's the life that you want to be living. And everything is aligning to bring you here, but you have to move your feet. You have to travel. That's why we have the earth cards here. It's all about your behavior. It's all about you, putting into practice everything that you're receiving from Spirit. And with that Hierophant, it feels like you kind of have to take your own advice here. You're probably telling other people, trust your intuition and, make the right moves and follow the signs. And you've got to do that too. You've got to believe that you have what it takes and that you're capable of traveling the path that Spirit is opening up for you. The Wheel of Fortune is growth and expansion. It may be expanding your business, expanding your relationships, broadening your horizons, taking you through doorways, leading you to places that you never thought you'd be. Okay, putting you in touch with people that you really need to be in touch with. And you have to walk that path, okay? The Ten of Pentacles underneath the surface is asking you to determine what it is you truly value in life right now. Okay? This is the card of wealth. This is the card for you to decide and really to use the adjustment card or the justice card to apply value, assign priorities to the things that you want in your life. If you were to get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, and draw a picture of your best life, what would you draw? You could draw anything in the world. What would it be? Your pets, your plants, your people, what else? Okay? Spirit's asking you to define what your best life is. We need to have this vision. You need to know what your dream life looks like so you know how to follow the signs that are telling you how to arrive there. You know? If you don't know where you're going, you're driving in your car, you don't know what the signs are telling you. You can read them, sure, but you don't know which one you should follow, you see? So this is the card that's asking you to assign value to things, using your higher wisdom and discernment. What things have value? What does wealth mean to you? Let me know in the comments, please. What does wealth mean to you? Okay. I wonder if the Hierophant is about you being someone that's not always willing to ask for help, you know. And it might be that right now Spirit is kind of waiting in the wings for you to say, hey, okay, Spirit, I need some help. Show me the signs, right? I feel like you're good at giving advice. You're good at helping other people, but you don't really like to ask for help from others. Yeah. I feel like that's the Hierophant right now is kind of reminding you that the divine energy is here, whether you believe in God, Goddess, deity, ancestors, guardian angel, spirit guides, universal mind, universal consciousness, or nothing, I don't know. Being open and receptive to some teaching coming in that's going to show you the path. Okay? It's a big shift that's happening, and I know you feel it too. Tell me in the comments that you feel it happening. And I want to hear your story, okay? So let me know. Show me and tell me what your idea of value is. What does wealth look like for you? Because this is the reality that you're trying to manifest. If this is just money, if it's literally just pentacles, that's what you're going to get. Okay? If this is home and family and security and love and connection and money, you know, that's what this will be. But you have to be able to define this. Spirit's asking you to speak your truth. What is it that you want in life? What does wealth look like to you? Okay. And now, the Nine of Pentacles in the background. Okay. You're somebody that's traveled a long way. Spirit also wants you to look back at how far you have come. I feel like the 9 is kind of representing your trajectory, that you've been making tremendous progress in your life. Okay? And it may be that we've kind of felt stuck, that we've come sort of to the end of the road and we're not sure where the journey goes from here. Okay? That's what we need to kind of, it's kind of like we do our best to drive the car. But at some point, no matter how much progress we've made on our own, at some point we have to say, okay, from this point forward, I don't know where to go. Like, I can get us this far. You know, you got yourself this far. It's okay now to call in that divine energy and say, where do I go from here? It's like, now what? Okay? This is a lot of progress. This is a lot of things being gained in your life, a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience. This is the road that you've already traveled. With all of its twists and turns, all of its ups and downs, Spirit wants you to acknowledge everything that you've gained from your life so far. Not everything you've lost, but even the losses being a gain, right? To look at things, look at it as your trajectory going up and to the right. That's what this card is. The visible sign of progress. Okay? On the day-to-day, we feel like some days are more, some days are less, some days there's a big loss, some days there's a big win. But overall, the trajectory has been going in the right direction for you. Spirit wants you to acknowledge this and to realize that you've brought yourself exactly where you are right now. And now it's kind of like we're going to let Spirit take the wheel. Okay? We're going to let Spirit take the wheel. I want you to hit the subscribe button. If you can acknowledge that you brought yourself right here to this moment, that you've done everything that you could, you've driven the car, you've traveled the road, and now at this point we're kind of like, now I need some help. Now I need some guidance. Now I need to know where to go from this point. Okay? And that's why Spirit is here with the major arcana kind of taking over your reading. Yeah. I want you to sound off in the comments if this is hitting a chord for you. Okay? And the Nine of Pentacles also, remember, is physical, financial growth, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative growth. It's gain. It's progress in every dimension of your life. Okay? In every dimension. Now, you can say, of course, well, Spirit led you here. Okay? And yeah, I believe Spirit did. Now, it's time for Spirit to continue to lead you. Okay? I feel like this is the final push. Okay? And whether you want to look at it as you've done everything that you've led yourself to this point, now it's kind of Spirit taking over. Or if you want to look at it as Spirit's been driving the car the whole time, that's fine too. The idea here is that right now, regardless of what came before, right now Spirit is taking charge. Spirit is aligning things for you and putting doorways and putting people, places, and things on your path, giving you the green lights to show you this, in no uncertain terms, this is where you need to go. And your Libra energy, the Justice card, is that those course corrections, those commitments, those decisions. It's higher wisdom and discernment. Okay? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, Spirit's going to give you the green lights. But you're the one, through your hands and feet, have to actually drive the car. You're letting Spirit take the wheel, but Spirit has to move through you. So the resistance here would be a big problem. So that higher wisdom and discernment is you knowing the right thing to do, which choices to make, which direction to take, and then doing it. That Spirit is kind of giving you the green light, and you're going to choose to either go through the light or stay stopped or turn in a different direction. I don't know why you would do that. You know, yesterday we were stuck behind a train, and every car in front of us started turning. The train started to slow down, then it stopped. And I'm thinking, oh no. I'm thinking, I'm either just going to wait here, or I'm going to turn and I'm going to try to find a different way, right? And I couldn't see on either side how long the train was. Every other car turned around and left. Okay? And then I was just about to go. I put the car in park, and I was thinking, well, I'll just wait. And I put the car in drive, and I was about to turn around. And just as I started going, the train started picking up speed again, started going forward. And I said, yeah, see, I got to just wait. I should have just waited, right? Spirit's going to open up that doorway for me, but I was going to turn around and go look for a different route rather than trusting, right? Trusting that something inside of me that said, it'd be better to wait than to turn around and drive down the road and try to find a better pathway, and it would have just taken me longer. I mean, it wouldn't have been a big deal, really, but that trust that we need with the Wheel of Fortune. This is all about faith and hope and trust. Now, maybe this is kind of like a card that's saying you're very good at you have a lot of trust in like your wisdom and your knowledge. Spirit wants you to trust the unseen. Spirit now, instead of having like educational knowledge, Spirit wants you to have spiritual knowledge. Spirit wants you to have faith and hope and trust, which kind of goes against this academic Hierophant energy that I feel. So I don't know if you consider yourself like an intellectual, or you consider yourself like a skeptic or like a rationalist or something, but Spirit wants you to have faith, right? Have faith. And so these two cards are a little bit in contrast or conflict, right? And so it's Spirit's asking you to kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit and have faith in something, to trust that the doorway will open up, the pathway will appear, and you're meant to follow those signs, okay? Maybe you're somebody that's skeptical about the whole synchronicity thing, or maybe that you tend to not believe in signs, maybe. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this, okay? Maybe this is very simple combination that's saying you've learned in the course of your life to trust the signs, and you're going to continue to do that because it's leading you to making really good decisions, and your life is getting better and better and better. You don't have a challenging card here today. So I think I'm preaching to the choir here. I feel like you've made a lot of progress in your life because you've learned how to trust the signs. You've learned to have faith in the divine, or in spirit, or whatever you want to call it. In synchronicity, you trust in divine timing. And that's led you to make the right decisions that are bringing you closer and closer and closer to your best life. Give me a heck yes in the comments. I know you feel this. Now, Path of the Serpent. General energy, the Strength card. Yeah, confidence, courage. Subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you haven't yet. This is an acknowledgement of your power, okay? When you operate in tandem with the divine as a kind of co-creator of the universe, there's nothing that you're not capable of, okay? This is a card of self-restraint. So this is the way that you can hold yourself back in order to hold space for that trust. This is me, just about to put it in drive and turn the wheel and go look for a different route. But holding yourself back from doing that and saying, no, I'm gonna wait. This is a card of self-restraint, okay? Restraining those kind of base appetites, right? That those kind of like lower instincts that just say, there's a train that's stuck on the tracks. I need to turn around and go look for a different route real quick. Overcoming that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to do nothing, to hold back, right? It would have been easy, and it would have been more, more relieving, because it would have felt like I was doing something. And doing something kind of feels a little bit better. It feels like we're in control. Rather than putting the car back in park and thinking, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to trust. I'm just going to go easy. I'm going to let Spirit take over. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Okay? And I was caught right in the middle of that because I started to let my animal nature, I put the car in drive, I started to turn the wheel, and I started to go. And that's when we saw the wheels, the train starting to move, and it was, okay, it's picking up speed. Okay, I shouldn't go anywhere. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of willpower to overcome that kind of lower instinct. Because again, it feels better to do something than to do nothing. Spirit doesn't want you to do nothing. Spirit wants you to do the right thing. Sometimes the right thing is waiting for the doorway to appear, waiting for the opening, calming down, okay? Being in control of yourself, but being courageous enough to kind of trust. It takes a lot of courage to have faith, doesn't it? Type faith in the comments if you're strong enough to have faith and courageous enough to kind of use it right now. Yeah. So the relationship card, the Sun card in the position of your environment, the position of your relationships, I think there is a clarity that's taking place in your relationships. I think that Spirit is illuminating the relationships in your life that you need to focus on. Spirit's going to give you a lot of signs and symbols and synchronicities about personal level, family, friends, your loved ones, personal relationships that need your attention and that Spirit wants you to shine your light on. Those are going to be relationships that are going to help you in your journey. that are going to be there for you and support you, that are necessary, people that you're meant to spend time with. Okay? Your loved ones. Okay? Your pets, your plants, your people. Yeah. Focusing on those personal relationships and strengthening those relationships. And with the Libra energy, Spirit is also showing you which kind of business relationships you need to focus on. This is the card of contracts and legal stuff and paperwork and professional relationships and agreements and negotiations, right? Spirit's leading you into certain business relationships and personal relationships. And I think that this is a big shift in Spirit, showing you what to focus on, what deals to make, and what bonds to strengthen in your personal life. Yeah. I think that you tend to be an independent person. You tend to like, I think, to do everything on your own. I think right now Spirit wants you to form those relationships that are going to assist you in your journey from here on out. Okay? And especially on the horizontal path, when we see that we've been making progress, and now Spirit's kind of saying, okay, there's something else now that you need. In order for you to continue on to get here, in order for you to continue on, you have to be willing to accept the partnerships that are being brought into your life. Okay? And it may be that there is a slight career shift in this card here, moving forward, that you might not be so ready to accept in your kind of independence, thinking, I have the answers, I don't need any help. Spirit might be leading you into a different kind of contract or a business partnership or a business agreement that's going to look a little different than what you're used to, okay? Because there is that small shift in your career direction. And there is a shift in your personal relationships. And Spirit's going to show you which ones need your attention the most. Yeah. The Chariot card in the position of the fear, worry, and concern. To me, this feels like too much armor, too much fortification, really. There's kind of a fear here of being vulnerable, a fear of letting your guard down. And so it makes sense that if you're that Hierophant right now, it's kind of like, you know best, everybody else has to stay at an arm's length. Spirit wants you to let those people get close. So Spirit's saying, let's not be too defensive or overly fortified to the point where you're going to be kind of locking yourself up in a tower, because you will inhibit your own growth. It could be right here that you have too much armor on, that your chariot's too heavy, and it's taking too much effort to move forward. So I think Spirit's telling you that you need these professional and personal relationships, because it's going to lighten the load. It's going to help move things forward faster. Okay? But you have to be willing to let people in. Yeah. You have to be willing to kind of acknowledge that maybe you do need, maybe you could benefit from the personal and professional relationships. Okay? Because I believe that your journey will accelerate through these partnerships. Because maybe right now it's kind of, it feels like the chariot is stuck. Or maybe, the wheel, it feels like the wheel of fortune kind of stuck. Or this is the wheel of the chariot, right? That kind of is stuck right now. And I think Spirit's saying that we're just, we're carrying too much. The chariot's just too heavy. Okay? It's overweight right now. So what you need to do is remove some of the armor. Remove some of your defenses. And enlist the right personal and professional relationships. And I think that your progress will speed up dramatically. Dramatically. Okay. The Four of Pentacles at the end here is stability. It is also, part of that tower. This is like the foundation of the tower, right? It's kind of like saying, are you continuing to build up walls around you? Or are you taking walls down and you're inviting people in and you're making connections? Okay? Because those connections are going to be very important to you both personally and professionally. This is the card of safety, security, and stability. It can also be the card of isolation. Now, you are, of course, Capricorn. This is the sun in Capricorn. So it kind of is your modus operandi, where you tend to be the solitary, lone mountain goat kind of energy. I think even goats need a tribe, or what's a group of goats called? I don't even know. Sometimes you need your tribe, sometimes you need those connections, because you have a tendency to be a solitary climber, a solo climber up the mountain. And right now, Spirit wants you to make new business connections and focus on strengthening your existing personal connections as a way of helping you get up the mountain faster. You don't have to do everything by yourself. And it's no sign of weakness when you want to have like a climbing buddy. When you realize that if we form a team, we're going to be able to kind of get to the goal faster, and it's going to be more profitable or whatever. So this is trying to illuminate in your life where you've been closing yourself off, and where you might need to kind of take down some walls, or at least make a door, at least make a door where there has been a wall. Let your defenses down a little bit, take a little bit of the armor off. Okay. So I think and this again, it's kind of a 4. It's kind of like, it's a square wheel. We don't want a square wheel. We want a round wheel. Okay? And so the square wheel is the way the Hierophant might feel like, I don't need advice from anybody. I'm going to figure things out on my own. And Spirit's trying to tell you or sell you a round wheel. And you're thinking, I'm not buying that round wheel. I'm going to make my own wheel. And then you're kind of reinventing the wheel. And so you go through the square wheel, the triangular wheel, the rectangular wheel, the hexagonal wheel, until you finally settle on a round one, which is what Spirit kind of said to begin with. Try a round wheel. And you said, no, I'm going to figure it out on my own. So it's okay for you to, in a way, learn from other people, take other people's advice sometimes. You don't have to do everything yourself. You don't have to do everything from scratch or reinvent everything. Okay. Sometimes it's okay for the giant to stand on the shoulders of other giants. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. I want you to claim this reading. Hit that like button for me, please. This mystery card, I don't even know what it is we need. I think a 6 of pentacles, a 6 of swords, a 6 of cups. It doesn't matter. A 6 of something. 6 of wands, maybe. I feel like the 6 would be perfect. The 6 is also the Lover's card. Okay. So those are my predictions. If you have a prediction, put it in the comment section beneath this video. Let's see what we have. A 10 of cups. Wow. Yes. Very good. Professional and the personal. Dream come true. Best life. Joy and abundance. Satisfaction. Satiety and wealth. You are on the path to having the best of all possible worlds. Give me a heck yes in the comments. This is extraordinary. This is telling me that there's nothing that's going to be missing from your life. You have everything that you want: financial security, financial freedom, true material wealth, but then also satisfaction, meaning, contentment, love, bliss, family, friends, loved ones, The dream really is going to come true for you. This is wonderful. Because without the love, without the connections, without the meaningful relationships, the pentacles become empty shells. And you don't want your life to be an empty shell. You don't want to have all this money, but then no one to share it with. You know what I mean? And so now you have that water that's going to fill the pentacles. So they're not empty, they're going to have depth. They're going to be rich and juicy pentacles rather than just, empty shells. This is very, very good. I'm very excited for the way your life is going now. And let me know in the comments if you feel this energy. And if you're ready to kind of make these, it kind of feels like small shifts that are going to unlock all of these doors for you. It's not these big, huge changes. Big changes are coming. I mean, these are big cards, right? But it's going to be through those minor adjustments, those little tiny course corrections. The new person over here, the phone call you make over there, the handshake over here, you know. That's what's going to make all the difference in the world right now. And now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below in the beneath the video there. New readings for Capricorn are on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.